Good morning, everybody. For science today, we are going to be talking about the human body a little bit more, specifically focusing on the skeletal system. So the skeletal system is just like you see in front of you. It's the bones that our body is made of. It also is going to connect with your owl pellet lab, which is going to be next week because, as we talked about yesterday when you guys came in for testing and I gave you the supplies, those owl pellets contain the bones of small rodents, small mammals that the owl ate and couldn't digest. So we're going to be hearing about some of your bones in your human body and also about some joints today as well. So I have my Delta Science reader here. We're going to be reading from pages 14 and 15 today. I'll be showing you throughout the reading, and we'll also be using our skeleton here to help out. Now, here is a picture of your skeletal system. Some of these you might already know. Are there any of these that ring a bell? Maybe the rib cage, your skull, your spine. Those might be the ones that you're familiar with the most. So as you can see, we've got one on the front view and one on the back view because there are certain ones that don't wrap around completely. Now, the skeletal system is made up of all the body's bones, cartilage, and ligaments. Okay? Bones, cartilage, and ligaments. Those are the different parts of the skeletal system. Now, bones, and this is not real bone, by the way. Bones are hard body parts made of protein and calcium. Those are the main two components of your bone, protein and calcium. So if you eat good protein and take, or you either have a lot of calcium in your diet or you have a vitamin, that helps with your bones if you take one of those vitamins. Now, bones, ligaments, and cartilage are the three parts of your system that we talked about. Cartilage is rubbery connective tissue that cushions bones. Okay, so it's not like the hard bone you would think of. Cartilage is like your ear or your nose. Again, it's rubbery connective tissue that cushions bones. Okay? So your ears and your nose are good examples of that. Now, ligaments are tough bands of connective tissue that help join bones. Okay, so ligaments, cartilage, and bone. Now, bones are hard only on the outside, only on the outside. On the inside of your bone is a soft tissue called marrow, bone marrow. Now, most blood cells are made in bone marrow. Okay, so inside your bone, you've got that bone marrow, which is a tissue. The skeletal system has three main jobs. First, it gives your body shape and support, right? Second, it helps your body move. Now, we learned about the muscular system, which is actually doing the actions, okay? It gives the energy, or doesn't give the energy, but it's actually following through with those motions. But it couldn't do that, the muscles couldn't do that if it didn't have the bones to actually connect it and do those actions. So the bones are the support, and it is the structure for your muscle. So gives the body shape and support. 2, helps your body move, and that's because your muscles are attached to your bones, and muscles pull on the bones to move them. Okay, so you've got muscle wrapped around here, and it pulls on the arm to move it. Now, third, the skeletal system protects your organs inside your body. For example, the bones of the skull. What do you think your skull protects? That's right, your brain. Imagine what it would be like if we didn't have our skull to protect our brain. What if a little toddler fell or ran into a coffee table, right? Without that skull to protect the brain, it would be terrible. Now, the ribs are flat, curved bones. They form kind of a cage. That's why it's called a rib cage, because it looks like a cage. What do you think it protects? That's right, your heart, your lungs. Okay, so those are designed for protection. It even looks like a cage to protect those organs. Okay, now a joint is a place where two or more bones meet. Okay, two bones meet at a joint. Okay, this is one individual bone. This is another individual bone. Now our Mr. Bones does not have real joints. It has some rods to keep them in place, but we need to have actual real joints to connect all of these, or also just be a big bundle of bones. It needs to stay together, and joints help with that. Now your neck, shoulders, wrists, and knees are what we call, some joints allow the bones that meet to move freely. Your shoulders, wrists, knees, and neck are what we call movable joints. Okay, so movable joints, like your neck, right? Our neck. The joint of your skull connecting it to your spine allows you to move. Your shoulders, right? You can move. And wrists and knees. Oh yeah, I can kind of kick him up a little bit. I'll angle it down a little bit though. Most of the joints in the backbone or spine are partly movable. This spine is not movable, but our spine obviously is. That's how we're able to bend. Certain joints in the body do not allow any bone movement. The bones of the skull are connected at many immovable joints. So as you can see here, like these two are different parts, or actually you can't quite see that. We've got some immovable joints connecting our skull. So what are the three main jobs of the skeletal system? Gives your body shape and support. What else does it do? Helps your body move. Your muscles connected to that bone. So it actually allows it to move. And protects what? Your organs, like your brain, your heart, your lungs. That's right. Okay, now here are some examples of these movable joints. As you can see here, it says this is a pivot joint for your head and neck. Gliding joints, small bones in your wrist. There's that gliding motion of your wrist. Pivot joint, head and neck, we're able to circle it around and up and down. A ball and socket joint, like your shoulder, is one that just goes around and around, right? And this, Mr. Bones actually shows that perfectly. It's called a ball and socket because this end of your bone is like a ball fitting into this socket. Okay, so it just wraps around it, perfectly shaped. And then you've got a hinge joint like your knee. So it's not shaped like, or I'll just show the elbow. So it's not like a ball at the top with that socket. Instead, it's just a hinge. And here's some examples of those too. We've got hinge, bends and straightens like your elbow, pivot, rotate side to side like your wrist, ball and socket like your shoulder, and gliding. Oh, I think I said the wrist for pivot. Sorry, that's wrong. A gliding is like your wrist. A gliding one is up and down and side to side. The example of the pivot was your neck and head. Okay, well, that's all for today. I will have a little bit of notes for you to take after this. I hope you have an enjoyable day. I will talk to you soon. Bye, boys and girls.